Welcome back to drawing with my left hand. So you may have noticed one of the previous videos. I was in the corner speaking and there was no sound. I misconfigured my microphone that day and yeah, so there's no sound. I hurt my right hand recently. I'm right-handed, and so every time I try to draw, I can maybe draw for about 5 minutes, and then it starts gradually getting more and more painful to the point of excruciating. So I'm trying to give my right hand an opportunity to heal by learning how to draw with my left hand. That's what the last couple of videos were, with kind of the funky drawings. That's kind of what I'm going to pick up with today. So that said, let's get to it. I'll shrink myself down, put myself in the corner, and time to doodle. So for simplicity's sake, and last time I was struggling to come up with things to draw, I'm going to follow essentially what kind of things would I draw as a child. Alright. And if you're looking for like professional level art, you are not going to find that with my hand in its current state. But you'll find a bunch of fun little squiggly lined things. I've gotten a little better at being able to draw some straightish lines, but circles still just kind of completely destroy me at the moment. Okay, now let's do this. I haven't drawn a ladybug in a while, so I thought, what if I tried drawing a ladybug? While I'm not exactly happy to have an injured hand, part of me has been wanting to learn how to use my left hand for this kind of thing for a while. Exactly for this kind of situations, like what if I ever injured my right hand, and what if I need to be able to draw to help make an income from my family. I'm going to just be in a hard spot if I can't draw. And so here I am, not really able to do any drawing with my right hand, and so I'm trying to do something about that before I find myself up against a rock in a hard place. For those who don't know, I do freelance software engineering work as my general source of income right now. But I'm trying to figure out ways to switch over to being an artist full-time, because that's much more what I would rather do. The hard part is, like, most people who are like freelance artists, things like that, they end up doing like client work for other people. But I'm more, I want to say, entrepreneurial minded. No offense to anyone else who's a freelancer, but I'm not really looking for like a self-employed kind of thing. I'm looking for more like, well, how can I start some kind of business doing this to make this something I can do long term, something I can do for a living, where I get to always draw where I want. And you might say, oh, that's unrealistic. But you see, that's kind of why I'm also doing software engineering as my day job, because if I'm not relying on this, I should say as my main income, but if I'm not relying on this to be the source of income, then I can be a bit more picky about when and how I succeed with this. How many legs does a ladybug have? We're gonna look that up. I have two monitors so that I don't have to interrupt what I'm doing on this one. Looks like a ladybug has 6 legs. Okay, cool. Alright, and then over here, you wouldn't be able to see as much of this one because of the camera angle. Alright, there's our first left-handed drawing of the day. You know what, we'll give a little leaf or something to munch on. You know, it's strange because when I draw with my right hand, you know, I didn't notice this before I got injured so much. And I've been practicing on this a little because I'm trying. So what I'll do is I'll draw a little with my right hand, then I'll draw a little with my left, and draw a little with my right, draw a little with my left. Here it's just all left. But I'm trying to pay attention to how my muscles engage when I'm drawing so that I can see if they're doing it on the left. And it's interesting because I can hear them trying to feel them trying to activate. I don't know if I could hear them. I can feel them trying to activate, and just not. They can't seem to figure out what it is they're doing, and so it's like, well, what can I do now to get them to cooperate so that I can actually have some success? All right. Next up, I'm going to draw the traditional kid's house with a tree. So let's get our line. There's our ground. And okay, so this straight line not going so well. That one's a little better. That's better than the first. Maybe, sort of, not really. Sorry about that. I at least muted it so you wouldn't have to hear it. I feel like if I can just get these straight lines down and curves, and that'll take care of most of what I'm struggling to accomplish. Alright, let's put a chimney on here. The fact that it's at least recognizable is, for me, an accomplishment in and of itself. And I'm intentionally adding some of these extra little details because it gives me more to practice. And if I have a little bit more to draw, then hypothetically I should improve at a little bit of a faster pace than if I draw the bare minimum. Look at how squiggly those lines are. It looks like the whole house got hit by a thunderbolt and is still kind of zzz. Okay, and the door. Okay. Little window so we can see through the door. Now we gotta check to see if someone's stealing our packages off of our little sidewalk here. And nope, looks like our package is still there. I wonder what's in it. Now we do need to practice erasing as well, so we'll try to clean up the inside of this a little bit. Okay, not perfect, but it'll do the job for now. Okay. There's one window. And another window. Let's draw some ground level windows so people can actually look out them when they're not upstairs. Ah, there's the house, but don't think we're done yet. These kind of scenes usually have a couple more things. Okay, we need a tree. And here we have so many curves. Let's try to make this look a little bit more like a tree. Maybe put some grass down here. And we need maybe a cloud, and we definitely need the sun. And I always like to put a face in the sun when I was a little kid, so I'm going to do that. My face always had shades because he was cool. Of course, one has to wonder, what exactly is he shading himself from? Or protecting his eyes from when he himself is the sun? There is the sun and maybe a couple of little clouds. And maybe an apple on the tree. Well, a few apples. If it's an apple tree, it's going to have a few apples on it. This circle's not bad. I'm kind of pleased with that one. Maybe if I go a little slower, I can make these a little bit more circle-y. I want to put a couple here on the ground. Apparently I'm going to put one on the ground because that is like a mutant apple that's as big as a person's head. You can make a whole pie out of that one apple. Okay, there's our next image. Okay, next, editing these icons is so difficult. So what should we draw next? How about an attempt at a dinosaur? This dinosaur looks like he's got a horse head. Okay. That's not a bad curve. And yes, this is with my left hand. Here's my right. Okay. There's that. Those lines are looking pretty decent. My thumb started hurting a second ago, my left thumb. And I was like, I hope that is like positive pain where your body's like, hey, I think I'm starting to figure out what I'm doing a little bit. There's one foot. Let's put the next one kind of right here. This dinosaur does not skip leg day. Okay. Let's clean up these lines just a little bit. Let's get his arm in there. Sorry, I keep clearing my throat. I have some decent reaction to the pollens that get released into the air every spring and summer. I like to kind of put... Oh, I want to clean this. I personally like to put kind of little scaly things on the back of the dinosaur. I don't know if he looks more intimidating or not with these extra jaggeds. Okay, there's another one. These. Okay, I'm putting too much pressure on my thumb. Let's try holding this a little differently. More like this. Yeah, it's a little more comfortable. Every now and then what I'll do is I'll put the pen in my right hand to see how I hold it. So I'll put it in my right hand and see how I hold it, and then I'll try to like physically duplicate the appearance of how I hold it with my left hand, because I'm hoping that if I'm using the exact same grip, it will be much more likely that I'll engage the correct muscles to make it work. Alright, there's our T-Rex. Okay, next image. It was a little easier hitting those icons that time. A monster bug. Sure, why not? Okay. Whoops. Yes, like the wallpaper says, I tried to design my own destiny. That's why I'm sitting here trying to learn how to draw with my left hand. So my little boys really like a series of books called Fly Guy. So I'm going to do my own Fly Guy. I'll leave this line. It looks intimidating. Oh, I need to make sure I'm using my elbow more. This line down here, this nice curve, is because I drew it with my elbow instead of with my wrist. Elbow. Okay. I'm going to give him crab claws, because why not? I like to draw crab claws on monsters. I think it's just kind of nice and intimidating. I'm not going to worry about how many wings a fly has at the moment, since we're kind of making this one up to be a monster anyways. Oops. That one, yeah, we're going to do that one over. Just give him like a venomish tongue. Like Venom from the comic books. Thankfully, erasing things in some ways is a little easier than drawing things. Okay. Because I don't need to worry about making it look nice so much as I am just destroying it. Though if you were to ask me, I feel like I'm destroying these drawings as well. There we go. Buzz. Alright, I think that is our last one for the moment. My left hand is asking me to take a break. It can only go for about 20 to 30 minutes at a time when I'm doing this practice at the moment. And then the muscles in here start feeling kind of sore, though they are feeling a little bit more like they're trying to do what they're supposed to. So thanks for checking out this next drawing session with me. I'm looking forward to the next one.